Guys, welcome back. And I think I'll have to do less pauses, hopefully. So I watched this last night. So at the same time I was recording last night, I took this off and I sniffed it and I almost died. And then I'm like, oh yeah, yeah. And I've had this microphone for how many years? And I've never I even looked up if you could wash these things or they would fall apart because I thought you watch it'll fall apart. Oh, washed up great. It smelled like dust. And I'm allergic to dust, so yeah, I'm really good. And I wanted to talk to you guys. I know this is kind of wavy gravy, but Odin and I are playing a game together. So Odin and I are playing a game. For those of you that sign on for Odin content, you get to see this. And Loki and the others are kind of standing back because Odin's going to be the teacher to take me into this. And he said, why the hell do you think you had all these weird experiences as a child? And I would have this dream, and I was talking to Lord Ganesh because Lord Ganesh shows up out of the blue. So I was just feeling so good because I put on those mantras and kind of dancing around, found some, new good mantras, and I didn't know they could like make them up out of like different words. So, I was listening to this one, like it's for his whole family, and I'm like grooving out to this because it sounds like it's really good music, and I'm dancing out to this. And he's like, yeah, that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to enjoy these songs and celebrate. Well, it's not his birthday party or anything for a while yet, but I was like, I felt so good. I'm like, I want to make him rice, and I wanted to make him rice with corn in it. But then I went and I looked up the recipes because I can never remember what his favorite foods are. I know rice and milk and stuff like that, but I know people will argue. But anyhow, I'm making it, and I said, I'm using powdered coffee creamer. The one thing that's probably not in here is actually milk. Are you okay with this? And he was pretty good, and I like showed it to him everything. He was fine. And then after we had eaten it, I got the ice cream scoop out and I made him some of them to make them like dumplings. He goes, "Oh, you gave me a product. It had natural ingredients. I'm done for." It was a lot funnier when he did it, and he's like he's gonna die because there was something unnatural in it. He's a big ham. He's a big ham. That's why everybody loves him, and he's really sweet. And I asked him if he could, open up some doors for me and, get me towards what I'm doing. And I had always known. I had always known. I was like, when this really starts to take off, because don't be dumb and tell the universe as a little kid or tell the gods of another country as a child that if if they help you, you will go there. If they like want you to go towards enlightenment, you will go there. Uh, they'll be like, okay, and then they'll just keep pushing you. So I've had all these weird experiences, related to India through my whole life. And, related to other places too, because really in the end it's all one. It's not it has to be from India specifically or it's not a sign. But I got a letter in the mail today from the president. And my heart fucking stopped because it had IRS on the envelope. And I'm like, and we're getting another stimulus check. And I'm like, okay, please. And I'm like, is this for fucking real? And I went and looked it up, and there's like really not much about it. There's not much buzz about it. In fact, the buzz was like a month ago, and now these letters are finally coming out, and they're like, yeah, you'll eventually be getting your loots. And I'm like, it's one of those things where it was just a push of here, yes, this works. Look, and then there are other people that are pushing forward, and if you look that up in, I've been, but if you look it up, there are people pushing for 2,000 a month for a lot of Americans for the duration of the pandemic because they're like, this 1,200 is great that a lot of people are going to get, but this ain't gonna help a lot of people with their bills. They need 2,000 a month for the duration of the pandemic. And I'm like, if that would be retroactive, that would solve my problems. That would solve your problems. That would solve almost everybody's problems. Some people know. Some people know. I understand that. Believe me, I understand it. But I'm like, this is like what we've all been working for and praying for a year, and now it's just it's moving forward, and it's coming, it's coming up. And that's kind of one of the things, when I saw the thing about the wolves last night, and you'll be seeing this on Sunday, so when I saw it Friday night, I got really upset, and I really couldn't find any petition I trusted. And I even went on the wolves Reddit, and they really didn't have a petition, which I was surprised. And I went and I kept looking, and something took me to the hiking article, and they had the legit Defenders of Wildlife petition. And I'm like, I might not be able to go there and physically stand between these hunters on these vehicles and a nursing wolf, but I can do it this way. I can do it this way. I can get between them and that nursing she wolf and go, no, you're a coward. You're on a machine, and you're hunting like this. And it's pretty barbaric. That article was kind of watered down. If you look up, these wolf hunts, you'll see everything that's permitted, and basically anything under the sun is permitted, and they won't have any kind of limit on them. So, if they wanted to go out there and kill 40 wolves and skin them and pelt them, they could. That's pretty horrific. And there were videos on YouTube, which I learned that broke my heart, that as I was looking for news of the petition, these people were real proud. They called a entire wolf family to them because they were curious, and they killed the entire family. So, it's why when Odin asked me if he'll ever get fur, I'm like, hold in hell, maybe. You want wolf fur? Go get an actual wolf. We will foster an actual wolf. You will have the wolf fur as long as the wolf is inside it. I'm like, absolutely not. And Lord Ganesh can take the blame. I'm like, Lord Ganesh visits too often. He would make him uncomfortable. I'm like, absolutely not. I don't judge other people for it, but I'm like, no, you are not bringing the pelt of somebody's brother, sister, mother, father into this house. They are a social animal. You're not doing that. I said, do you want to kill any of those bears that I like to watch? Those bears that play with those guys that are in those rescue sanctuaries? I said, you want to kill one of those specific bears and take the fur? No. Then stop asking me. Don't ever ask me again, because I will take you there, and you can kill that bear by yourself. And you think about what you're asking. I love him, but sometimes, like, the mother goddess in me comes out. It reminds me, I've told you guys that story before, but of Ganesh. When Ganesh was a little boy, he was like all other little boys, and he didn't know to play gentle with animals. And, his mother wanted to teach him, so she turned herself into a cat. And she went over and she's like, meow. And she's trying to be friendly, and she's trying to play very gently with him. Well, like all young children, until you teach them gentle, they play with kittens like they're Tonka trucks, and you have to tell them no. And he really hurt the cat. And she was trying to get away, trying to get away. Finally, she scratched and bit him. She ran away. And she was all bruised because he was like, playing real rough with the cat, pulling her tail, pull on her ear, and you like pop out her claws and smack her and everything else, because kids don't know that it hurts an animal to be hit. Well, the cat runs away, and then his mother shows up. And remember, he was created by his mother to defend his mother. And his mother, she's, black eye, like bruised on the side of the face. She looks like she's been attacked, or, you know, bruises all over her body. It looks like maybe some of the bones are broken. He's like, who did this to you? Who did this to you? I will go and I will defeat them. And she said, you did this to me. You did this to me because I was the cat. I wanted to teach you. You must never, ever, ever be that harmful towards an animal again. And he was ashamed of himself, and he said, henceforward he would be much more gentle with animals. So that's kind of why you get that thing with a lot of these gods, that they're very gentle with these animals, and they're very nice with them. And it's just been one of those things where it's like, the more they push me towards this idea of enlightenment, and it's not what a lot of people make it sound like. If people were throwing a wall of words at you, to me it's like, you're not enlightened yet. You're actually afraid of it. because the ego starts to notice that you're getting close to it. The ego starts to go, no, you're not going to do this to me, because the ego just goes, poof. And you're still you, it's nothing to be afraid of. I'm still me. Yet you're very aware of the fact that the we that we are is a costume we're putting on for just a little while to be here. And, I'm this, in you and everything around us is this vast being. And within this vast being, and everything is one. It's why the gods can actually get along if they feel like it, because we're all really part of the one same vast being. And Odin's playing this with me, and he's like, "Let's try it. Let's see how far down the rabbit hole you can go, because if this really works, if this really goes somewhere, I want to see this." So Odin and I are going down this rabbit hole, and Odin would be the first god to want to see human achieve enlightenment. And it's not like I've seen a lot of people try to say they've hit it, and they start talking about themselves in the third person or something strange. Whether you love or hate him, because I know a lot of people, he rubs them the wrong way. Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey talking about, hitting it and realizing that you're this vast being looking out through your eyes, that you are this vast being. Pay attention to my words. You are a vast, infinite being looking out through your eyes. You are capable so much more, but you put limits on yourself. This isn't new age woo. This isn't, don't just literally just sit there and think everything will happen. There might be people that can do that, but probably, well, not most of us, at least not yet. But you're capable of so much more. You just have to figure out, what is it you want. You don't have to know how to get there, but what is it you want, and head in that direction. Head in that direction. You at least gotta move in that direction. You at least gotta look that way. Even if you like, for some reason you can't move in that direction now, you've got to at least look that way and tell Loki, tell Odin, say, hey, I wanna move towards this. I wanna move towards having this. And don't just move towards something because society tells you want it. That's the biggest mistake we all make. We think, oh, if we fall into that trap of manifesting in the sense of it must, the checklist, the house, the car, the lover, and you might not want any of that. You might not want any of that. And you might go, well, what I want's just, not important enough. I'm never going to get it. Great. What you want's going to be even easier to get to. It's just, a thing of belief, of walking towards it, and it will arrive. It will arrive at the right time. This has arrived at the right time for me, and I knew the more I got closer to enlightenment, it would not be, well, I was sitting there meditating, though. We're playing fun games with meditation now. It would be when I was doing dishes, which it started to happen. It would be when I was cleaning, which it started to happen. It would be, listening to an actor just use very simple words to describe it, not listening to one of those new age pop gurus who claims to have hit enlightenment, but the way they talk about it, you're like, dude, why are you making it so so complicated? You are infinite. You are not this character you made up. I'm not this character that I've made up. None of us are. We were handed so much when we got here. We were handed what country we were born in. We were handed a body. Growing up, we were taught a religion or none, and we were taught all the values of our society and everything. And it's about digging underneath all that, and it's not a scary thing. It's not a bad thing to just look at yourself one day. It's not some kind of dissociative disorder before you get worried. To look at it yourself one day and go, oh, I'm a lot more than this. I'm a lot more than this. I'm not this meat prison. I'm not this person who gets up every day and goes to work, or does whatever you do every day. I'm infinite. I'm the infinite being looking out through this experience, you know. And it's really trippy. Now, I know that might not play well, but it's something we're playing with now, And I've seen people that hit it and actually get to it. It's, it doesn't mean they become perfect. It doesn't mean, it's not actually like they become perfect and they start floating off the ground and they live off, the sounds of angelic choirs. You still have human quirks and human hangups, and it doesn't make you perfect. I think that's kind of the myth we have in the West, is that you hit enlightenment and like you instantly become the Buddha and you like fly off into the sky or something. That's not quite how it works. You still have to, unless you go live in a monastery, you have to be in this world and of this world, and that's what we're here for. We're here to, have fun and celebrate and, explore and do all the stuff we want to do. But, as we're doing that, we're going to hit bumps and we're going to hit problems. And you might have hit enlightenment 20 times in your life already, but, something knocked you out of it 20 seconds after. Like, somebody pulled in front of you in traffic, or, your spouse had a fight with you, or the kids wouldn't eat their dinner, or something. Yeah, yeah, because, it's a great place to visit, but you wouldn't want to live there, is how I have one teacher, of Eastern philosophy, put it up. Because you almost, most of us have to really stop what we're doing and just go sit somewhere, and we can stay in that state, but the moment we start to walk around, we're like, crap. So yeah, it's kind of what it's like. It's like you can visit, but most of us can't stay there. Some can, some can. They're a little otherworldly though. They kind of seem kind of out to lunch. But I mean out to lunch in a good way. I mean, they seem otherworldly in a kind, like they're the ones we would think of as being angels or God or something when we encounter them. I don't mean the people who seem like they snorted, silly putty or something. I don't mean the people that sound like, they're out to lunch, man. They're really, wow, they're gone. No, not like that. Sometimes they can come off a little far off, far out there, the people that have legitimately hit it, but it's not, one, it's not our job to judge, so it doesn't matter if they actually hit it or not. And two, it's just one of those things where they're at peace with themselves because they realize you can still be in this world, you can still do all the fun stuff, but also you can figure out what is it you want to do. I want to be kinder while I'm here. I want to grow into a better person. I want to use whatever power I have, use the platform, for example, to do good things. And if that means once in a while you guys are going to get really quiet when I mention, hey, I found this great petition, this thing we're all mad about, or this thing that people sit around and go, yeah, I'm really mad about that, and they say they are. Dude, online petition from a known place is like 20 seconds to fill it out. If that, once you have been in their system, no matter how many years you've been gone, they got your back. You go on there. I went to that petition. They're like, we remember you. All right, you're signing a petition. Cool, man. So, it takes very little to be active and to be, a bit of an activist. You can do it like almost passively at this point. Just go sign a damn petition online. I go, woo, back here. You don't have to be going out and, chaining yourself to a tree, or going out and fighting these people, in the wild, which could be very dangerous. You can go sign a petition, because believe me, if enough people make it a living nightmare on Earth for the governor of the state, then, he's going to be like, you know what? Maybe getting rid of 90% of the wolves isn't a great idea. Maybe I should rethink this. And so, we can respectfully disagree on that, but I'm like, humans caused this damn problem in the first place. We fixed it, and now we're causing it again. We never learn as a species. We're so stupid. And these are animals that live in a family unit. If they were animals that the moment they were born, they ran away from home and they didn't have anything to do with each other, fine, that would be one thing, but they are a family unit. And these ranchers get compensated for the animals they lose. They do. They get compensated, and there are many non-lethal ways to deter wolves from eating livestock. In fact, what you're actually going to see lecture time is it's only the wolves who have lost the mom, because the mom is the culture keeper in wolf society. Mom is the culture keeper. Mom says, this is where we hunt. This is where we live. This is what is good to eat. This is what we don't eat. These are humans. We really don't go close to them. In fact, we run away. We run away from humans. They're the biggest, fluffiest, cutest little cowards in the universe. They will run away from humans. Healthy wolves, you won't even know they're there because they will be busy running away from you. They are not going to come towards you. They are not. And it's why it's so disheartening to see people go out and do this stuff, because there has to be something very wrong for a wolf to ever, approach a human. And, they're such timid creatures. They can walk right up to them and, kill them. Unfortunately, kill the pups in front of the mother and then kill the mother. And, they're curious, intelligent animals. So it doesn't take much to call them into an area and then kill the whole family. And sometimes you'll get one or two that'll run, but usually they'll just be confused and frightened. They'll huddle together as a family. So yeah, I know that's kind of a downer to end on, but it's like, that's one of the things that even if I'm going towards enlightenment, I'm going towards, being, we're all this vast infinite being, then shouldn't we as vast infinite beings have compassion on these poor animals that can't sit around and do that? These animals don't have a choice. They're where we let them live, is where they are. They're not where they're meant to be. They're wherever the hell we decide to reseed them. And then we decide we want this land too, and we want to kill the wolves and like take everything over. We won't be happy as a species until there are no woods and it's all just Walmarts and Sonics and nobody can breathe because there are no trees left. Genius. But But I'm very passionate about that, and Odin's get me back into that. He's like, you better start putting your money where your mouth is. So we have been talking about maybe once a week, if that, maybe once a month, maybe once every 6 months, of bringing you guys like, some kind of petition and being like, hey, this thing we've all been upset about, here's an actual petition from a legitimate petition site. Let's sign it and, get off our six and, go do it and help these people out. And sometimes they end up sending you cool stuff in the mail. They like get your mailing address. I'm gonna be getting stuff from Defenders of Wildlife now, which will be pretty cool because they have a wolf in the logo, and I'm like, yep, helping the wolves. So if you guys like what you see, like, comment, subscribe, and we will see you later. Bye bye.